Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. This is Psalms 82 and 6. It says, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Alright, and that's the Lord talking to who? The Israelites, alright? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. The Lord said, I've said ye are gods, alright? Because we are gods on the earth, alright? But we shall die like men, meaning the Lord took away our power from us, man. Alright? The scriptures tell you that in Isaiah, the Lord will take away the scepters, the staffs, you know, he shall take away the orators, you know, all the mighty men from basically take us out of power, man. Take us out of that rulership position to where we're at the bottom. All right. And that's what's happened to the Israelites, the children of Israel, because the Lord did that. He used the nation. He put the spirit power on other nations to take us down. All right. Throughout history, we were brought down. But we're the gods on the earth. And everyone knows that so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, we're the gods on the earth. All right. You know, everyone knows that. That's why we're the greatest at everything, even on a low level. But it says, I've said ye are gods and all of you are the children of the Most High. Talking about our people, right? The Israelites. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. So we're going to die like men. And that's what's happened to us for the past, 500 plus years? You know, we've been getting our ass kicked by Esau and the other nations because the Lord took away that power from us, man. But I'll read this to basically play this clip here from the movie Thor. All right. And in this movie, man, the first one, Odin, which is his father, basically strips him of his power, man, for his disobedience. All right. But in the end, he gives him his power back. All right. And Thor was on the earth telling the mortals that he's a god. Right. But because he was stripped of his power, he couldn't show that to them. And people was, you know, the mortals that he was around were like kind of mocking him, like, man, you ain't Odin's son or whatever the case may be. But in the end, it was showing that he was when he received that power back. All right. When he received that power back, it was showing who he really was. And that's what's getting ready to happen to us, the hopeful elect. There's brothers that are part of the hopeful elect that are going to receive spiritual power in these last days. All right. Along with the coming of Yahushua. All right. To destroy the so-called white man and all the other nations. So I'm going to play this clip here because that's the power that the hopeful elect are going to receive, man. Spiritual power, man.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if it be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
And that's pretty much the scene, right? He gets his power back. You know, he loses it for a time and he basically sacrifices himself for a good cause. And Odin gave him back his power. And that's like the brothers, man. Pretty much we've been disobedient to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But in these last days, the Lord's given us back the breath of life, man. All right. And he's raising us back up. First with this word, then he's going to physically give us the power over these other nations, man. All right. And that's the time that we're coming in. We're about to get the power over the nations. All right. And you have to have faith in that and belief, which the majority of our people don't have. That's why the truth is only for the hopeful elect, man. Okay. I'm going to read this here because the Lord is getting ready to give us that power. Lord willing, soon, man. All right. Just like Thor got his power back, the hopeful elect, which are gods on the earth, we're going to get our power back, man, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is Zechariah 12:8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. All right. And when you read about the feats of King David was a mighty man. He took out thousands of men, all right, on his own. King David was on the front line in battles, man, taking people out, leading by example, so to speak, taking out the other nations, man, with power. To take out 1,000 men in one go, you have to have powers to do that, man. Like what you see when Esau shows you these movies, these Marvel movies and stuff. That kind of power, man. For that kind of power. All right. So it says, and shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Lord, as the angel of the Lord before them. So the house of David are going to get that power back, man. The hopeful elect. And it says the feeble among you. So it doesn't, see, because in this world, man, people glory in their muscles and their strength. And how much pull-ups they can do, push-ups, dips, whatever. I mean, it's good to exercise and train. You know, it's very good to do that. But that's not what saves you, man. That's not what delivers you. Because look, you can be mighty in this world, and by the time you're 30, 40, the Lord can strike you down with an illness. You lose all that years of muscle that you worked for, man. Now your legs can barely work. You can barely walk. All right? But with spiritual power, it doesn't matter your size, your strength. The Lord just puts that power in you, and it don't matter, man. The Lord will make you strong. The Lord, the Lord will just give you power, man, that you could just take out thousands of men. You know? And that's what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai does, man. He chooses the feeble of this world to confound the mighty, the wise, the mighty. And that's what he's doing again, man. To show his power, man. All right? So it says, shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Lord, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And we ain't going to destroy the so-called white man and the other nations by our power, by our might, by our guns or what our physical earthly bodies. No, the power that the Lord is going to give us. He's going to give us power over them physically, but it's going to be power through the Spirit of the Lord, man, from the heavens. Spiritual power, man. And that's going to begin with Yahushai. See, what did Yahushai said when he comes back this time, which is in the word, he said, I shall not meet thee as a man, meaning he's going to come back like Superman, pretty much, with power. All right? On a chariot, man. Spiritual power, man. Glowing. All right? Shooting laser beams. That's how Yahushua is coming. You see? So it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. So that's what's going to happen. All the nations. And who came against us, man? Every nation came against the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. The top of the nations at the moment is the so-called white man, because he's the one that we're completely under at the moment. But all the other nations, the Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, the natural Africans, they will come against us too, man. All right? But guess what? The Lord's going to give us the power to come to destroy them. And that's that spiritual power from the heavens. And that's what we're waiting for. All right? So we're patiently waiting for that. Now, I'm going to get this here. No, I'm going to get this one here quickly here. This is Amos 9:8. So pretty much the Lord said he's going to give the feeble among us, the power like King David had. And King David was mighty. So just imagine the power that the Lord's going to give the hopeful elect, man. All right. And King David was a mighty man. So the Lord said the feeble among you in that day shall be as David. That hasn't happened yet. All right. In that day, the brother that, you might have a brother that doesn't train, like maybe like other brothers train, got a bit more muscle on them, whatever the case may be, can fight better. But then that brother that looks so-called feeble, he's going to be like David in that day, I'm not saying brothers all have to be mighty men. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is pretty much the brother that you might see that ain't as strong as other brothers, he ain't as physically strong as other brothers, he's deemed weak to the world. He's going to be likened unto King David, man. So I'm going to read this here. Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I'll destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Meaning the Lord's going to destroy America, man. Just put it straight up. The Lord's going to destroy Babylon the Great, which is America. He's going to nuke it. And in the midst of the nuclear missiles, Yahushua and the angels are going to come to deliver the hopeful elect and be zapping the buildings down. The chariot's going to be destroying everything. Destroying Esau's monuments. He's high-rise buildings. That's all coming. It says, "For lo, I will command, and I'll sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as a corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." All right. So the Lord's going to deliver us from all over the earth. All right. He's going to deliver us. He's going to show these other nations that we're amongst who we are. He's already doing it. But when he beams us up, the other nations, they're going to see so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Israelite foreigners getting beamed up. They're like, what? These people getting beamed up? That's how it's going to be, man. So we're going to get that power back. They've been scorning and mocking us all these years. But guess what? The Lord's going to beam us up and give us that power back, man, in front of them. All right. It says, shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And that's the time that we're coming in. All the sinners, meaning the 2/3 of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, 2/3 of our people, the Lord's going to destroy them with the sword. All right. Meaning he's going to punish them in these last days. And who's the Lord's sword? The so-called white man. He's going to come in with his military troops, his guns, his tanks, and just be mowing you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans down, man. All right. In your neighborhoods, whatever. He's just going to be putting you in concentration camps, shooting you dead in the streets. And that's coming. The time of Jacob's trouble. We're coming closer and closer to that. All right. And this is the point I wanted to get. Verse 11, it says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." So that's what the Lord's getting ready to do, man. He's gonna give his hopeful elect power back on the earth, man. Spiritual powers. All right. The house of David, the hopeful elect, are gonna receive spiritual power from Yahushua. Just like Odin gave Thor back his power, it's gonna happen like that. It's gonna happen like that with us, man. We're gonna get back our power, man. Our physical power on the earth. All right. Let me read this here, and I'll end it on this here. You see, this is Isaiah 59 and 19. Okay. Isaiah 59 and 19. "So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him." And who's the enemy? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and all the other nations. And the scripture says when the enemy shall come in like a flood, meaning, because in Revelation 12 and 12, it tells you that Esau is going to come down having great wrath because he knows that his time is short. So he's going to come down heavy upon our people, man, in these last days with a great slaughter, man. But the Lord said when he does that, the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, meaning what? The Lord is going to give certain men, certain brothers in his faith that are of the elect, he's going to give them spiritual powers, man, to overcome Esau. They're not going to be able to harm the hopeful elect, man. All right. And if some brothers that are part of the elect die, but you died in the Lord, you're going to be the first to come back with Yahushua, man, and the angels. So you died for the right reason, you know? But the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, meaning the Lord's going to give power to his men to basically be protected. "And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord." And who's our Redeemer? Yahushua. All right? And that's what we're doing now. The brothers that in his faith, we're turning from our transgression. So we're turning from our wickedness, from all the wickedness we committed. We're turning from that and doing the best that we can, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, doing the best that we can in this wicked world, man. But we're turning from transgression, man. All right? So that's what we're waiting for, man. We're waiting for the spiritual power from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because our might ain't going to save us, man. Because in this world, you can have someone that's hella strong, been training for 20 years or whatever, strong as hell, knows all kind of techniques and stuff, right? But then one day he just gets an illness. Now he's in the hospital. He loses all that muscle that he ever had, all that agility he ever had, all the combat techniques he ever had. He loses all of that in one day. That shows you that these bodies are nothing. These fleshly bodies that we have are really nothing, man. What's power is power from the heavens, spiritual power, man, where you can run and never get tired. You have infinite strength. You can fly, You can swim underwater, deep waters, just as deep as you want without any equipment, That's spiritual power, man. And that's what is the real power, the power from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is greater than anything, man. So that's what we're waiting for, man. So with that, I'm just going to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.